Hello everybody! Today I'm going to be showing you how to make the pants for our two-piece Valentine's Day romper. First, you're going to want to take some pants that fit you well. I picked these black slacks because I love how they fit, and you're just going to pull one leg out, and then you're going to go ahead and put that leg into the other leg like so. So you'll have one leg and the other leg, and then you're going to go ahead and match up the seams, the front and the middle back seams of your pants, and just kind of shake it out. You could do this with the pants inside out so you can see the seams better, and that's totally recommended. I should have done that, and I recommend you do that as well. And then you're just going to go ahead and take that middle front and that middle back. You're going to have a U like this, and you'll just put them together like so. And that's how you'll do that step. Then you're going to go ahead and take your pants and you're going to put them on top of some paper. You could use wrapping paper, big piece of paper, paper taped together, it doesn't really matter. And you're just going to want to make sure that when you're doing this, that you're folding in all of the bits of fabric that are beyond the seam. What we're going to be doing is tracing this top part of the pants, so we don't want to trace that back part because that little bit of fabric there that you can see I'm folding in, that's going to be part of the other side of our pattern. So right now we're essentially making the front of our pattern, and then later on I will go ahead and trace the back of our pants pattern. So you'll see I'm just going to trace along the top and the sides, and I'm just going to make my own cutoff on the bottom there. You can see just a rough draft, doesn't have to be perfect. And then now I'm going ahead and I'm making my back. You'll know that it's your back because you'll be able to tell by the fact that it's the back of your pants, but also there's going to be a bigger U shape, so to say, kind of there where I just traced, and then we're just going to, cut along or draw along that outline there and then cut it out there, that part. You can see that there's like a bigger curve, and that's how we'll know it's the back, because it's compensating for more room for your backside. And you can see here that that seam folds over into the front side of our pattern, so we just want to make sure also here it does the same thing. So we just want to make sure that we're tracing beyond it and just kind of compensating for that and adding on a couple extra inches, ½ inch, centimeters, whatever you have to add. There's not an exact science, it's just kind of whatever you feel is right for you. There you can see that the left side has less of a curve, whereas like the right side had more of a curve because it's for your back and your bottom. And now I'm just going ahead, I'm tracing that out. I'm just taking my ruler because I wanted to even out the lines. Here they look all nice. We have our front and our back, and you can see how the back has that bigger, deeper curve compared to the front. Just showing that a whole bunch. And then I didn't want a seam line on my pants on like the side, so I went ahead and I measured up my pants, made sure they were even with the ruler, and then I just taped it right down the middle. I'm getting ready to cut out my pattern, and I just have to say, this is the absolutely most perfect fit. There is like just enough fabric to cut this out. I mean, there's all this fabric too, but if I'm going to use this part, there's just enough. So I went ahead and I sewed up both of my pants legs, and I thought that this would be a good time to give you advice before you do what I did and mess up. I did not sew these mirror imaged. I sewed them the exact same way. So it's hard because I don't have like a right and a wrong side. Basically, you don't want them to both have the opening here like this. So what I should have done is I should take out these stitches and then fold it the opposite way, if that makes sense. We want to have like an opening here and then an opening here. Next thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to go ahead and turn one of these inside out, and you're going to want to put the right sides together, so one leg into the other, kind of like when I was measuring the black slacks. So now we're going to just sew up this U, so just like that. Now everything is sewn together and we have our U, so we're just going to go ahead and pull the one pant leg out of the other and then turn these right side out, and Just give me 1 second. Ta-da-ta-da! Now all we have to do is turn these inside out, or right side. No, not inside out. The inside is already out, so we want to turn these right side out or inside in. I've never thought of that before. Anyway, we're going to turn these the way that they haven't been already turned. I have hemmed the bottom of my shorts and the waistband. It's not even. I didn't really try too hard with any of this because this is just a mock-up, and shorts should be easy anyway, so it doesn't even have to be a really good mock-up. I went ahead and I tried on my mock-up pants, and I did a whole bunch of squats, which I highly suggest you do, just so you can see how they fit you, especially if you're not using like a stretchy fabric. In my case, I'm just using like a cotton fabric, so they don't really stretch. And after doing all of these squats, I realized that it was too tight. Okay, so I was going to shorten these here, heighten them here, but now that I say it out loud, I realize it's probably just smarter to go ahead and keep the pattern as it is, and then just lower the crotch seams, because that would be so much simpler. Here's my adjusted pattern, and I went ahead, made a mock-up, really liked it, and cut out the fabric. You just want to make sure that when you cut out these two pieces of fabric that they're mirror imaged and not the exact same, especially with one-way prints. Just sewed those up, and here you can see I decided to layer with a long sleeve shirt. You could wear this just as is, like a romper. You could tuck in the ruffle or sew this without a ruffle and then have more of this look. Or you can just wear these pants on their own. That's the great part about having a two-piece romper.